guys, welcome to another video. This video is going to be a book haul. I acquired some new books for Mother's Day and then we went to Barnes & Noble's today and I ended up using my gift card that I have left. I have a few books to talk about. So the first one is The Dixon Rule by L. Kennedy. I recently got this one, I think the same day that it came out a few days ago. I saw everyone was getting it and I also had to get it. I love L. Kennedy. I love her off-campus series, the Briar U series, and I started recently reading The Graham Effect by her. So I knew that as soon as this one was gonna come out, I needed to get it. Basically, this one follows Diana and Shane. Shane is a hockey player and is kind of looking for like a relationship. I think he was jumping around and now he is ready to just like settle down basically. But Diana, it's kind of like the opposite. She's trying to focus on basically her day-to-day because she has a lot of things going on with like a dance competition. I think she also has like 2 jobs and also her ex that he seems to not get the hint that they're done. So we get to follow them and I believe they're not roommates, but I believe Shane moves into kind of like the apartment building that Diana lives on. So they become kind of like next door neighbors and they start fake dating. This one is really chunky, but I feel like Elle Kennedy, at least for me, she always hits the spot. So I'm really excited to read this one as well. Next book that I have is Unsteady by Peyton Corrine. This one is another hockey player, ice skater, which gives the vibes of like Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. But I don't know, this one I was reading the back of it and it's kind of giving me the feeling that it might be a little bit more emotional or more like heavy. It does have anxiety rep because the male main character Reese has an accident in one of his games and he suffers from like a concussion and all that, so he starts getting like anxiety attacks and panic attacks when he goes like in the rink to play. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, he kind of like takes a break from it. And then Sadie, I guess, is fighting for custody of her younger brother. So yeah, I feel like it does have a little bit more heavier topics to it than Meets the Eye. That's something I'm really excited for. I feel like I haven't read like quote unquote an emotional read. I'm excited to kind of get a different kind of like perspective and story with the tropes that I enjoy. So yeah. Then we have another hockey romance, which is Powerless by Elsie Silver. This is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Springs series. I think they know each other from childhood, so it does have that childhood friends to lovers. Sloane is about to get married and something happens, I guess in her wedding day or something, that Jasper just kind of comes in and saves her. And from what I've read in the back, they're both like attracted to each other and I think they also kind of know that, but Jasper obviously is in denial of it, so he's gonna have to put in the work of like really showing that he really does like her. We do get a glimpse of Jasper in the other books of the Chestnut Springs series, Flawless and Heartless, so I do think that he does have quite of a past and I'm excited to kind of just dive deeper into his story and get to know him more. People seem to love this one a lot and I don't know if it's because of the hockey aspect. It's just hockey romances are like super popular, but I think in terms of like the story and the plot, I think people seem to really enjoy this one a lot. I guess I bought mainly hockey romances. That seems to be a trend. But the next book that I have is Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. I've seen this one recently come up in my For You page on TikTok, Instagram. I've not have heard many people talk about it on like the YouTube side of things, but I have seen it in the other platform and I've been interested ever since. So I'm excited that I was able to get it because I've been looking for it for a while and I hadn't find it in like a Barnes & Noble's before. This one is For Proximity. It is Grumpy Sunshine. The female main character used to be like a songwriter and then something happens that she just kind of like doesn't do it anymore. So she ends up becoming the assistant for the pro goaler of a hockey team. Also, based on their POVs that I see on the back, it seemed like they both had a crush on one another in high school. So I don't want to say childhood friends to lovers, but they do have kind of like a history from before. So I'm excited to see how that kind of like works into the story. Another sports romance that I got was Fair Catch by Candy Steiner. This one is actually football, and the female character is on the football team. So I don't think I've ever seen a book like that before. And then this one also has one of my favorite tropes of all time, which is brother's best friend, and for proximity because they're roommates as well. I've seen this one around for a while now, and I've been wanting to get it ever since the first time that I saw people talking about it, because people were like raving about it and the series overall. But I don't know why I just never got them. So I saw it today at Barnes & Nobles and decided to get it. And then going back to like small towns, we have the duo of Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddle by Lila Sage. I actually started reading Done and Dusted yesterday, and I am enjoying it. Seems like a very quick read. It's very fast paced and super easy to read. So started with Done and Dusted. This is a brother's best friend trope. Emmy, the female main character, is basically a horse rider, and I think she has an accident, so she ends up going back to town. Then we have Luke, which runs the bar of the town basically. It just seems like a very quick read, and people seem to enjoy it a lot, so I'm excited to see what all like the hype is about. And then for Swift and Saddle, it is basically in the same town, and on this one we follow Weston, which is basically Emmy's brother from this book. I'm excited because as soon as Weston kind of like got introduced in Done and Dusted, I was literally like, I hope he has a book because I really want to read more about him. So I'm excited that this is the one that came out after, and I'm able to pick it up as soon as I finish Done and Dusted. And again, I've just heard amazing things about both of this book, so I think it was time to just get them. Those were all the romances that I got, and then I got one fantasy book, which is Five Broken Blades by May Corland, I want to say. First of all, look at these spread edges, and not just that, but look at the inside. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was one of the main reasons that I ended up getting this one, just the cover and obviously the spread edges. I mean, how could I not? And this one says that it's like a dark fantasy when I was looking it up. It basically follows like 5 assassins or liars. That's kind of like how the synopsis has them. They have been summoned to kill the god king. But again, they're all liars and deceivers, so they're gonna have to kind of work together and put trust in one another in order to kind of get the objective done. I don't really know much more about it. Like literally my husband and I were just browsing through Barnes & Nobles, and honestly the main thing that caught our attention to it was basically the spread edges. But then we actually started reading it, what it was about, and it just seems very interesting. So we decided to get it and buddy read it. So I think it's gonna be like a fun book to buddy read with him and kind of just talk about with him. So yeah, there's that. Also, please check trigger warnings. We were looking at them in the bookstore because it does have them, at least in this special edition, it does have them like in the beginning of the book before you started. It has some crazy things in there and some triggering things in there, so please read the trigger warnings before you read this one. For mystery thrillers, my husband actually got me The Housemaid and The Housemaid Secret by Frida McFadden. He knows I've been in a little bit of a Frida McFadden kick lately. Like I'm really enjoying this author. I'm not gonna go into detail of what they're about because these are very popular books at this point. So, and then the other thriller is actually, I don't know if you remember, but like the VHS like tapes. It literally looks like one of those, and then you just pull it out, and the actual book, like the cover, looks like a VHS tape. I mean. And then obviously apart from that, I'm really enjoying Geneva Rose as well. I read, which one was it? I read You Shouldn't Have Come Here by her a long time ago. I think it was last year, and I absolutely loved that book. And I've been wanting to pick up another one by her. So when I saw this one, obviously the cover got me in. And then when I was reading what it was about, I was even more interested. Basically, this woman passes, so her kids basically reunite to sort out her estate. As they're doing that, they discover like these tapes, so they start like kind of watching them, like, you know, home videos and all that stuff. But then they stumble across one specific tape, and that one is a recording of their dad and mom, but their dad is basically covered in blood, and the mom is saying, let's, you know, bury this person and not talk about it ever again. And it just kind of like ends. So they're basically gonna figure out what that was all about. It seems very dark family secrets, and I really enjoy this type of mystery thrillers. These are all the books that I was able to haul for the weekend, and Let me know if you read any of them, if you've enjoyed it, if there's any of them that you're really excited to kind of read soon. Yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you'll have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.
You don't need to be Prince Charming to me. I just need this to be real. I don't need no fairy tale. You don't need a killer dragon for me.